Up next here on The Early Show, the recent affair of Governor Mark Sanford raises the question, can marriage survive infidelity if the cheating spouse falls in love? We'll get into that debate. Up next here on The Early Show on CBS. Sex scandals and politicians, we have had the discussion many times before. A while back, former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer was caught with a hooker, while more recently, South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford said that he fell in love with his mistress. So which is tougher for a wife to deal with, lust or love? Joining us now is marriage therapist Dr. Jen Berman. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'd like to start off by reading you an excerpt of an email from Governor Sanford to his mistress in Argentina. He writes, "Sweetest, I have been specializing in staying focused on decisions and actions of the head for a long time, and you have my heart. You have oh so many attributes that pulls it in this direction. Do you really comprehend how beautiful your smile is? Have you been told lately how warm your eyes are and how they softly glow with the special nature of your soul?" As a psychologist, does this tell you that this is a man who is deeply and madly in love? Or could he be thinking he's in love because the lust is so powerful?
Well, this is a man who clearly believes that he is in love, and in some other emails he talks about how his head and his heart cry out for her, and he talks about her inner beauty, and he talks about being in love with her.
When we talked about Governor Spitzer's affair with a hooker, we talked about how a marriage can definitely survive that because it was an infrequent, meaningless thing. Can a marriage where it's more than that survive as well?
It's much more difficult for a marriage to survive an emotional affair. With Spitzer, he was just having sex with a prostitute. I mean, not just, obviously, he betrayed his wife, but in this situation, this is an ongoing affair. And when you have a sexual indiscretion or a fling, it's a moment of poor judgment. But when you have a one-year relationship that involves emotional attachment and connection, it's a series of lies and deceit, and that's much more difficult for a marriage to recover from.
Governor Sanford said that he went to Argentina to call it off. What does that tell you? He really wants his marriage to work?
We don't go to Argentina to call things off. We go to Argentina to have physical contact with people in Argentina.
You don't buy it for 1 second?
I really don't.
So what issues would...
That's what phones and email are for, and he clearly knows how to use email.
That's true. That's true. So what about his wife, Jenny Sanford? What issues do you think this woman is having to deal with at this juncture?
Well, I think this is incredibly embarrassing for her, and I'm sure that she's feeling tremendous anger. There's obviously issues of trust, concern about her family. So this couple has a lot of work ahead of them.
They do. Do you think they'll make it?
You know, I think it's a tough call. She clearly is very committed to her marriage and her husband, but this is a tough one to work past.
Dr. Jen Berman, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Coming up next, we'll speak with Shia LaBeouf.